time for lunch?
Angelo, it's 10:30.
Right around that corner, there is a sandwich shop. They sell meatball sandwiches. Best I've ever tasted. Would you go get me two? Come on, partner. Two.
Thank you.
Utah, give me two.
Yeah, I'm sure part of that's the offensive line. Again, we come back.
Shipley's been injured.
I know.
They had a lot of high hopes for him.
I know. But I thought Gainwell did a very solid job.
Shipley has not been asked to do anything because he's got the rib stuff.
Yeah, Shipley has the oblique, right?
He's gonna be. I really like.
I like Shipley,
and I thought what we saw from him during camp was very encouraging this year. It seems like they really like him and that they trust him in that protecting the quarterback capacity, which is a great thing.
All right, so 215-592-9494 to weigh in on this. You know, the Saquon thing, do you have early concerns? No one's freaking out. I'm not flipping out. I'm just saying he may be lesser than because of the toll last year. It was 482 touches last year. That is a lot. Also, the Phil squarely on the table.
All right, everybody. Sorry, I had to go right to the radio. You didn't quite hear what the big hullabaloo locally. In-market local, not fandom, not people out of state, what they're literally talking about all over the Delaware Valley. Stay tuned on that as it regards to the Eagles. But first and foremost, good morning, everybody. Rise and grind on this Wednesday hump day. Yes, Wednesday hump day. Yes, listen, game time, Brian, as the hoodie says, a little early morning hoodie. Otherwise known as the mailman, getting ready to go do his appointed rounds, deliver his appointed rounds. And, you know, we are 3 days removed from the debacle in Chicago. A loss is a loss. You know, I'm pretty much caught up with everything. They played a handful of, Dallas defense played a handful of man-to-man. They did okay in some of them bad technique, maybe because you haven't run it all year. Trayvon Diggs' technique was horrendous when it comes to dipping inside. You always want to have, when you're man-to-man playing the outside corner, you want to push him to the boundary, to the sideline. Receiver goes out of bounds, cannot come back in and be the first person to touch the ball. A lot went wrong on the play that Trayvon slipped, Eagle Wade. He did text me a couple times, but I was busy. Sorry. You know, so, again, we'll see. Micah Parsons has come out and said he's going to feel sadness when he sacks. Not if, when he sacks Dak. And I believe he's going to sack Dak multiple times. I hope I'm wrong, the Cowboy fans. But this is being teed up nice and high, nice and easy for Micah to come out looking good, right? The ex-player will always come back, usually, I don't know, put it in the comments, and have their pound of flesh, right? He's going to get his cake and eat it, basically. And he's going to get his money and be able to mess up, in my opinion. I mean, listen, anything can happen. I keep saying it. Wow, I forgot my sunglasses and my allergy meds. Yes, I did. But wow is right. So we got that to look forward to. Yes, we do. But let's talk about, some local news here. As you heard, kind of heard, they are Kevin Patullo, I think that's the offensive coordinator. There is mass concern. Again, nobody's saying they're not good. This is what we tell. Like the fans who have, some of the fans out there, we'll just say some of the fans who love their birds. Don't ever want to see the negative. Don't ever want to say, wow, if you keep playing this way, albeit in wins. We've seen Dallas go undefeated at home and get their ass handed to them in the playoffs. Well, that happens a lot, but you get the point, right? Don't listen to me. Listen to the radio. Everybody's concerned about the offense. The offense is not good, albeit in 3-0. I think good teams look at it. I think a good football team or a good management will look at it and say, we're winning. Now, Dallas would say, well, we're 3-0. We don't need it. We like our guys. We like our guys. At least give credit to the Eagles front office. They're 3-0, and they're still looking to improve. Talk is cheap, Jerry Jones. Talk is cheap. At least the Eagles are looking to improve. They are. Now the discussion is, should they bring in C.J. Gardner-Johnson? I say no. I don't think that's the move you should be looking at. Offensive line is not quite what it was. They're very worried about Saquon. Again, I'm not here to hammer Saquon. He's a great running back. But the stats are the stats. Can they win a Super Bowl with this Saquon? Yes, they can. But he's not the guy from last year through 3 games now. Linda Conyers, I agree with you. We need to let it go a little bit. I would just say, when I said this team reminds me of 2023, listen to the freaking radio on WIP. That's people calling in. That's Jim McMullen, beat writers. This isn't just Joe Blow, the fan, that's upset, or radio hosts trying to stir up shit. There is, John Ritchie. Do you like John Ritchie? He's a genius. He's literally a genius. He's got an IQ that of a genius. So I hear. He's saying there's concern. They're not saying they're not winning the division. Everything is still on the table for the Eagles. But if we're being honest, it ain't the same. They're eking out wins. They're proving their championship medal. But how long can that carry you without just outright dominating? Which they're not doing. Right? Now, this isn't an Eagle video, but I turned on the radio.
You got to get it together a little bit.
Well, not just that, Joe. Houston converted some of his money into salary cap, like a couple weeks ago.
CJGJ, coming to the Birds.
$1 million to pay 3 games
Cheers.
for them.
That's how bad it is.
Yeah, they paid him more than he was supposed to. So, they thought he was a part of their future.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson date.
Within the last few weeks, something happened.
I'll be nice.
Phillies
Philly 500 is bring him back.
That's D'Amico Ryan.
Oh, 100%.
D'Amico ain't playing that shit.
Everybody in Philadelphia loves D'Amico Ryan. Yeah. And
Rhea Hughes.
And a guy like Nick Sirianni, who I think Sirianni's pretty
cool,
strong, right? I mean, he doesn't look like D'Amico Ryans as a middle linebacker, but I admire Sirianni's toughness. Other coaches have said enough. If I'm the agent and I'm the family, I'm like, dude, you either get your act together, you might not get another shot. Because I guarantee you there are teams that would not take him back at this point.
Yeah, this has to spread like wildfire.
Again, in my humble opinion, keep CJGJ away from the Birds. Let Andrew Makuba play and get better. Okay? Just let him play. I like that better. That's just me. And I'm saying if I were a Cowboy and I want to keep winning, you don't need him. But you went to the well twice. Why would you do it again? Just because you happen to win a Super Bowl both times he was here, he's not the sole reason. It is a team game. Sorry. Let me know. I know somehow I'm going to get negative, right? I'll get negative feedback about it. But these are people, John Ritchie, Rhea Hughes is not a clickbaiter. They're all very concerned. As well as most of the people in market, right? So, if they're concerned, maybe there's something to it, right? There's a reason why you see Jalen Hurts, who is a winner.
Reports that he was critical of teammates.
Yeah, they're talking about CJGJ.
The secondaries.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson don't know when to shut his mouth,
He was
okay?
complaining about his role. He said he wanted to be traded. The guy is a...
Nobody wants you.
I don't know.
Dallas
I think
will
the
pick
best
him
way
up
to
because
say it on the radio
their
would be
safeties
handful.
suck.
The guy is a...
Eagle Wade. Oh, they don't know how to draft. Yeah, the guy that's blowing everything is the guy they didn't draft. But whatever. It is what it is. I can't get away from this Eagle thing. There's not much Cowboys to talk about. It's going to be an uphill battle this week. I hope Bland can stay healthy through this game. I hope he is healthy. I would just say the game's going to be closer than probably people think. I think emotions matter. I think desperate Dallas is the more desperate team. I do believe that. I do believe that Green Bay and Detroit are coming down to the battle of who's the best. That's going to be a battle throughout the season. Chicago, I think, will get their act together, but I think Dallas made the Bears look better than they are. I think the Bears are in trouble. But Dallas does have some bodies coming back this week. Jadeveon Clowney is back this week, making his debut. Jerry Jones says Jadeveon is going to be able to bring pressure, manufacture pressure with Jadeveon Clowney. I think this is an issue when you bring in a Jadeveon Clowney and expect him to be the end-all, be-all. I don't believe he's the end-all, be-all. I believe Jadeveon Clowney is not the end-all, be-all. Okay? That's just the way it goes. I think Jadeveon can be a piece. On this team, the way our edges are playing, you would have thought these edges on the Dallas Cowboys would have had new life that Micah was no longer there, right? You would have thought that they would see an opportunity and one of these guys would try and seize it. Marshawn Nealon's played probably the best of the bunch. Everybody else is just... It's like bland food, You could have the best steak in the world if you don't season it. You know what I'm saying? You can give me some nice smoking hot thin French fries that have a nice soft middle, but if there ain't no salt on it, maybe a little bit of pepper. I like a little pepper, a little salt and pepper on my fries. If they're not seasoned, a fry could taste like a shoelace or cardboard. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Hello. But that's just me. I stick to my guns. I had them losing this game. I'm going to have them losing. Dallas will be 1-3. The key is without CD, without Tyler Booker, who is arguably the best guard to be drafted. He's playing at a very high level through the first 3 weeks of the season. Trust the tape. Brian Baldinger, amongst others, just go out and look at how Tyler Booker, I think the conversation that I had with Drew and Rob prior to the season where they're like, Drew said, the guy you should take is Tyler Booker. And then when we take him, it's like, man, you really needed a running back. It's like, okay, now we know where your angle's at. I love you, Drew, but come on. You can't have it both ways. But now that we have 3 games in, Linda, you say 6 to 8. I would love to have 6 to 8, but right now he's hurt for the next 4. He's out 4 to 6 weeks. I would say he's going to miss at least 4 games. He's going to probably be on IR. It is what it is, right? But early returns on Tyler Booker are great. Is he perfect? No. There's stuff he needs to work on, which is good. But when you can be dominant and still have stuff to work on, that's impressive. So, first round pick, again, Eagle Wade. Looks like you're wrong again. Again, I guess you want every pick to be a home run out of the park. That's not how it works, Wade. Even back in the day, Dallas had to make trades when they were winning Super Bowls, Wade. When you were, let's see, if you're 32 now, we're talking, you were 2 years old in 1990, whatever. When I was at AT&T Stadium, while you're crawling around, peeing in your diapers, Dallas had to go out and make trades to actually win a Super Bowl. Draft alone was not good. So, again, nobody hits. What you got to do is hit with your early picks. Now, if there's anything that we could complain about, it would be second round picks. Ultra Cowboy. I apologize to all the group chats. I zonked out early, woke up, was up for a while last night, and then zonked out again. First day back ain't ever good. But, our second round pick, Donovan Easy-Ezeraku, I'm going to stick to my guns. He's going to be successful, okay? He's the third best edge rusher in the nation, okay? He's done it. 19 and a half sacks. He's good. He just needs to get his feet wet and figure out what he's doing in the NFL against left tackles. Okay, maybe you got to move him around. I think he's going to be a player. But Ultra brings up a good point, and if somebody brings up a good point, I will relay it. Will Johnson, he was big into Will Johnson. Will Johnson is killing it, leads the NFL amongst rookies and even like a lot of veterans. Will Johnson is killing it right now. Okay, Will Johnson is killing it. So my thing is, if you're telling me that we had Will Johnson instead of Ezraku right now, that would help us. But I'm okay with Ezraku for now. I really am. He just needs to get his act together. He honestly does. He needs to be coached better. I don't hate Eberflus. We've seen, I'm not going to be just throw everything on the feet of Matt Eberflus. That's not fair either. Matt Eberflus didn't, he gave the talent. Matt Eberflus was brought on after Elam, I believe, was in the mix. So it's not like that we're looking at guys who go, he can't. He's dealing with what he could deal with. I think they lose this week. I think it's a closer game than people think. I hope Dallas can shock the world. This is the type of game that Dallas will win, only to go out and lose next week. It doesn't matter if Dallas beats Green Bay, then they're ahead of where I had them, believe it or not. But the scary part is we don't have CD. Which I look at this as an opportunity. When you don't have CeeDee Lamb, I look at it as an opportunity to have somebody else step up. We know after this game that Mingo is available. I don't know if he's healthy, but he's available to come off of IR or whatever list he was on. So, Savon Ravel, Kalen Carson. There's a lot of guys that are available to come in and help us. Again, season's not over, people. It's frustrating, but again, it's kind of where I had them. I didn't have them barely beating the Giants. I didn't have them in a close game against the Eagles. And when you take a step back, I could have seen the other Giant game. I could have. Did I like it? No. But if I just take out the emotion and look before the season, I had Dallas 1-3. But then they have to go and win 2 on the road. I was getting greedy. I'd rather them learn this shit now than later. They were always at 9, maybe 8, maybe 10. They were always. All right? So anyway, that's it, everybody. Stay tuned for the lunchtime chat live in the mail truck, 2:30, 3 o'clock, probably around 3 Eastern. So I have all the trolls come in and say, that's why my mail is late. I'm entitled to a 30-minute lunch break. I choose to spend it with you some days, most days, all days. You would think people would be happy, but I believe those are people that are just hop onto the algorithm that my stream is out there and they have no clue. So all are welcome, but we will light your ass up. All right? All right, late.
You're trespassing on my property. Get the hell out of my yard!
Hey, JT, let me have this house.
JT let you have my house.
Yes.
My shed.
I want it.
You're trespassing on my property. You didn't win shit in my yard.
Wait.
All of you.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?